attend like a mobile school of Spanish and also a publisher of teaching materials. And the presentation for today is, Profe, why do we always do the same thing? And this is something that I've always been challenged with because I have students for so many years. I teach from 1st grade through 8th grade, and I see the same kids year after year after year, so I quickly run out of tricks. Their 2nd year, they're like, Profe, the same thing again. So I'm always trying to do the same thing, but make it feel different. So this is a sentence that I really like in Spanish. La misma vaina pero con diferente olor. Now, vaina is a word for like a casing of a machete or a sword, but it's also used as a thing. So it's the same thing, but with a different smell. Kind of like the same wine in a different bottle. So I'm always trying to do that. How do I get them to listen, read, write, and speak in ways that seem different to them, but in reality it's the same thing. We're always doing the same thing. So mainly what I do is, for listening, I just constantly bombard them with comprehensible input. I speak to them in Spanish that is comprehensible to them, always. Here's a little sample of me teaching. This is a 4th grade class. And we don't have sound. That's great. Just another problem. Do they have anything
Is
there?
there more, if you take it this long, on this one, let go up? It doesn't, I know.
Well, there's gonna be a plug-in.
Is it 18 minutes?
Okay, thank you.
No, there's a plug-in into the audio.
There should be one, yeah.
That,
Well,
yeah.
see, it's interesting. Let's see. Let's do it like this.
La muchacha es invisible. Felipe no ve a la muchacha porque la muchacha es invisible. No ve a la muchacha. Y la muchacha malcriada roba el libro y corre. Felipe no tiene libro y Felipe dice, profesora, profesora. La profesora llega y no está contenta. La profesora dice, ¡silencio, Felipe! Y Felipe llora. Felipe se ríe. No. Felipe grita. No. Felipe se cae. No.
Well, that's just a short little sample there. And I use a lot of, if you notice, I don't speak to them really slow at all. I try to speak to them normally, just in a comprehensible way. Words that I know and structures that I know they already know, so I keep using them over and over. But I try to speak normally. And they will catch. Their ears are very well adjusted. Sometimes when we get like a student teacher that goes to practice and comes in and starts like, hola, and very they start giggling. And I'm behind her like, be careful. This is another sample.
Y la profa pregunta otra vez, ¿a qué huele el sombrero de Bolivia? Y tengo corrido de dentro del sombrero y huele bien.
So, what they're doing there is, I'm adding a little bit of conversation, like, ¿a qué huele el sombrero? Because inside each hat there's a different smell. So I always try to keep them going and interested. I have these little secrets inside a box, inside a backpack, inside something. So they're trying to smell, and whoever smells it and sees what's inside can't reveal the secret to the rest of the class. So they're all waiting for the secret. Like what? And that last hat smells bad. And I got, is Melissa here? No? No? she gave me a pickle that stinks. Like it's like stuffed pickle. It's really stinky pickle. and that was inside the hat. But I tried things with onions, garlic, and oh, huele muy mal. They all want to smell. The good ones are like bubble gum, and I'll buy something like for your car to smell good, different things like that. But not just that, I'll use pretty, ugly. It moves, it doesn't move. I use an actual animal once. So they're like, ooh! Is it slimy? Is it hairy? Scary? Not scary? Does it bite? Does it poke? Big, small, hot, cold? So I have lots of good success. I had one bad experience with the bat smells. The student told me, I have perfect bat smell, Profe. And I say, all right, bring it. I'm trying to get him involved. He brings me this little bottle about this big. And when I read it, I said, are you sure? What if it's not going to work? He said, oh, it goes away really quickly. It was called liquid ass. We had to exit that room. Not good. Don't ever try that. The smell stayed from the whole day. We had windows open and everything. And the worst part is it was not my classroom.
Never again.
So until this year, I was teaching, just traveling teacher. Now next year I'm in my room finally. But yeah, that was my day. So I kicked. It was a 5th grade class. I kicked them out for the whole day. Just because of this liquid ass. Oh, so another thing. So we do that. So when there's like something cute or something in the backpack. So, ¿qué hay dentro de la mochila? If they look. En la mochila, dentro de la mochila hay un beep. And they don't reveal what it is. There's a little beep that goes with it. So, and I also create animated stories to do basically the same thing that I do, but now it's a little video. I establish meeting and I tell the story. And this again is using the hats. And I use a lot of these hats because I have those 3 hats. I have a hat from Bolivia, I have a hat from Colombia, and I have from Mexico. What I always do before the beginning of the class on the board.
The desert. Debajo de. Under. Ropa interior.
Always a
Funny
good one.
one. It is one of the many words for underwear.
One of the many words.
This one specifically, yes.
elefante en ropa.
Oíste.
So that's the story. I get on the board, just talking and doing some drawings, and then I just made it into the video to make it seem a little different. But it's the same thing, repetition, establishing repetitions, and usually something funny somewhere to keep them interested. But I also tell stories with pictures. Like I'll do my own little stick figures and I'll tell them a story just to make it feel different. Now I'm not drawing on the board, I'm not showing it on a video, I just have pictures like this. And I'll also use culture pictures just to stay away from the story for a little bit. And we'll just talk as they, are they skinny? Are they fat? Are they tall? Are they short? Is that a city or is it countryside? So we just have a conversation and it's cultura. This is a picture of a painting of Botero, a famous Colombian painter. And then you'll see kids will start producing their own stories exactly the same way. They copy everything you do as a teacher. They absorb, and now it's a great way to produce them out. And I'll show a video of him later. Now, PowerPoint, Keynote, projector, it doesn't matter. I know it sounds boring, but it feels different. And they won't even realize you're doing the same thing. So you're just showing, instead of showing them the picture, they're up there. There's something different, but it's the same thing. La misma vaina, pero con diferente olor. This I use a lot with the little ones. Anywhere from like 4th grade and down. I just grab any book, any children's book in any language, and I read it to them in a language that I know they will understand. I'm not following, I'm not actually reading, I'm just telling them the story in a language and show them the pictures. And they sometimes think that I'm actually, that's the real story, but no, it's not. I grab videos sometimes from the internet, I probably were not supposed to, and I do the same. I delete the narration, and I add my own, just to control it a little bit. This is great because they know the story already. What is it called in English? Goldilocks. Ricitos de oro en español. They know the story, so I'm telling it in Spanish so they can understand. I can, once they know a little bit more Spanish, I can increase the difficulty and just narrate it again and be a little bit more difficult. Kind of like the embedded reading, but embedded narration, I guess you can call it. I don't know. So I do that a lot. I just download it, put it into any editing program like iMovie, delete detach the audio, delete it, and add my narration, and use it. I also have created this chance game, which goes along with the poster that I have with high frequency structures. And it's not really storytelling, but it is lots of comprehensible input. For example, it's like bingo, but I call it chance. And I would say, el muchacho cierra la puerta. So they're looking for it. Oh, no lo tengo, o lo tengo. And we play, blackout, or just 4 corners, and we do stuff like that, just to get it to listen to these structures. Because they're the same structures they're using in the stories. You'll be surprised, with just 65 structures, they start producing an incredible amount of language. So I also bring guest speakers just to bring the diversity to do exactly the same thing that I do. I tell the guest speaker, just tell them this story, this is what you're going to do, and I'm there controlling, kind of asking questions, but it makes it feel a little different. It's a guest speaker in the room. Also, movie talk. Something that for some reason they never get tired of. They're always ready for Pinterest, Spanish Cuentos, I have about over 300 animated videos that I use for movie talk, but there's a lot more. There's all kinds. These real parts, like clips from a movie, anything, but I have those right there that I like to use with first through 8. Wonderful stuff, so you can go there and have access to copy them. If you have Pinterest, just copy them and make your own board with the films that you like. Now let's go into reading. This is basically the same thing. We're going to try to do la misma vaina, pero con diferente olor. So, I also bombard them with the structures that they've already listened to in short little readings like this. This was created by me. These are pictures from the internet, and I just hand them out. They read, and you'll notice that a lot of the first year students will freak out. They say, I can't read Spanish. So the first time we give them a paragraph in Spanish, they can't read it. Like, no. They kind of block themselves. But then you call them like, what is hay un perro? There's a dog. El perro se llama Duster. The dog's name is Duster. So you do know what you're reading. It's just that it scares you for some reason, because when you read in English, it's nice and smooth. But when you start reading in another language for the first time, it's a really bumpy road. Now a lot of these third graders are great readers, but in English they read these giant, fat books in English with no pictures, so I know they're very capable of reading. So I created little ones like this too. I don't have them available yet because I tested them out all this year in my classes. So instead of giving them the whole paragraph, I broke down, this is the ending of the story. Pablito es un ratón muy curioso y va a la puerta número 3. There's 3 doors. This is already the third one. Pablito abre la puerta. The repetitions are abre, cierra, abre, cierra. Ay, caray, hay un tomate en el baño. So these are stories that they already heard, because I already created a video and we narrated them, but now they have them written and with pictures to illustrate them to help them make connections. Pablito cierra la puerta. Now it doesn't seem a little intimidating when it's just a little sentence like that. And it works even with 8th graders. It doesn't matter. ¡Qué vergüenza! And then, just to help them out at the end, they have vocab. So they don't feel so intimidated, especially those new students. Because it doesn't matter if they're in 2nd grade or if they're in 8th grade. They're still my first year students. Some people say, well, why is, Tommy in 3rd grade doing the same than this kid in 8th grade? Well, it's a little bit different, but they're first year, so they have to go through the same process. Organizing stories. They know the story, we worked on it, just read it, organize it, put it together. Just giving them a reading, they're reading it in a different way. Just forcing them to read. Illustrate. This is one of my favorite ones. To have a full story, and you have to illustrate what each little line says. And I don't care about their art. It could be stick figures, but they must represent what that structure says. So if there's a cat falling, there needs to be a cat falling. It doesn't matter if it looks ugly, but it needs to be falling. If it has big teeth, it has to have big teeth, like that one there. So they're reading, they don't realize reading because they're drawing with it. So la misma vaina, pero con diferente olor. I do recetas. So this is a story. It's a regular story, but I just added a recipe in the middle. And they feel like, this is something different. After this class, they told me, Profe, this was the best Spanish class ever. And it was the same thing. And this one, so un día a las 8 de la mañana, Johnny se despierta y va a la cocina. So Johnny wakes up, he goes to the kitchen, he finds a green book, an old green book, he opens the book, and suddenly there's a light that comes out of page 58. Reads the title, and it says, magic recipe, magical recipe. Johnny is very curious and wants to prepare the recipe. So there's a recipe, super easy, Cheerios, marshmallows or malvaviscos, depending on where you're from, chips de chocolate, algodón de azúcar, y un vaso transparente. and then here's the description of ojos, cuerpo, pelo, and I already have a picture of it, so it's really easy for them. And then Johnny goes to the kitchen, he puts on the chef's hat, he prepares the recipe, and all of a sudden, the little monsters come to life. And they run away through the window, and he's confused and scared, something like that. So, very typical story, something that we usually do, but now it's a recipe. So I let them prepare and do the same. So there's us preparing the recipe. This is third grade. So la misma vaina, pero el dolor. And it's a really quick recipe. Cheers with marshmallows and then cotton candy on the top for the hair and just a little bit. And the hats are just paper from the printer.
Trouble, Julie.
So I also make them read books to younger kids. They write these little books like this, and we get them published so they look like a real book. They illustrate them and write them, and I send them to read them to younger kids. And we keep them in the library. We didn't have any Spanish books in the library. Now we have a big bunch of them created by them. They're writing them. I check them for grammar and everything like that, and then we make them into real books. El chiste de la semana. This is something that they're really, and they're always waiting for that. It might seem like, oh, this is not a lot of reading. It's something. They come up and they want to know what's so funny about it, so they colorear para perezoso. Veo fantasmas. No se lavó las manos. Fotos un flash, foto con flash. Very simple things that they understand.
Where do you find them?
Right there. Well, I have a board of Pinterest with 352 chistes. And every time I see one, I just post it there. So if you have some, share them with me, please. Because I'm starting to run out. I'm starting to think maybe I should do a chiste del mes.
We actually did chiste de la semana or whatever as a writing activity too.
Okay.
Like write what you see, write the story, write the backstory, what's gonna happen next, what happened before. So you can create a whole, it doesn't have to be just here's the joke, moving on.
Yeah, I have one board there that's called writing prompts, and I just create the pictures. Create the pictures, funny pictures. So we create little reading parties where I tell them, okay, we're gonna, tomorrow we're reading, so you can bring your stuffed animal, your pillow, what pajama, whatever you want to bring. And we have a little reading party, and we read. That's all we do in that class, we're reading. Matching pictures with words. I think you had a great example of that, created by Melissa, where you have the text and you have pictures, and all you're doing is matching, and just force them to read. La Revista de Español, we're going to show you an example later, where it's a little newsletter, we call it La Revista, the magazine, where they publish their stories. I tell them that the best stories get published. I try to get everyone in there. As, I have a lot of students, so I sometimes fail to get a few in there before the end of the year, but I really try. And they are convinced that the best stories are published. Scavenger hunts, this is one of my favorite ones. So, it's the same thing. It's a story. It's a story. Well, en la escuela Bergen Academy hay un paquete de galletas de chocolate. So there's a packet of chocolate cookies in Bergen Academy. And the kids are hungry and want to eat the cookies, but there's a problem. The kids can't see the cookies. Suddenly, one boy looks inside Andy's desk and finds a clue. So they go run into Andy's desk and look, and there's paper in the first clue. En la oficina de Mrs. Reeves hay una pelota de playa. Busca debajo de la pelota. So in Miss Reeves' office, there's a beach ball. Look under the beach ball, and then there's another clue there. And they keep going. And at the end, they go to the office, and they have to dial my number from the office. So they call me, and the principal will have a clue, and everywhere, pretty much. And they call me, and then I answer, and I said, en la clase de español hay un paquete de galletas encima del proyector. So on top of the projector in Spanish class, there's a package of cookies. So I made them run all over the school reading. But we've packet was there. And I send them in small groups, so each one has a different one. Embedded readings, I did a great job talking about that. So I usually define it as, like, I use a series of 3 or more readings of increasing difficulty created from the same chapter or novel. So before I get into reading novelas, I do little embedded readings. So I use a simple version, then I add a little bit more, and before I jump into this, because this could, if you throw novela to a new student, it would scare them. So little by little, you start just pushing it into that, and this is one that I wrote. I'm going to talk about it at the end. One of the last presentations is about teaching culture through Peter by Colombia. There's a 3rd grader reading it. Now, let's go into writing. So I do, this is again, the same videos that I create, the same stories in class, but now I have them on paper. Now, escribe el cuento, write the story. This is a picture directly from one of my documents. You can see it's underlined, misspelled in Spanish. And they write the story, simple sentences. So Pablito va a la playa, ve el barco, tiene una idea, y navega en el barco. So this bird keeps popping up everywhere in my stories. And he asks, like, Pablito, Pablito, ¿qué hay debajo del agua? So he has to go and jump. And then he says, octopus. So, and this is the most typical type of writing that I use, the most common one. That you got done early, write a story. Escribe un cuento, escribe un cuento. This is, and they know, they write a story, and they have to illustrate it. For early finishers, that's what I do. So this girl, if you see, she's already going into past tense. Sometimes she throws present tense, she mixes it up a little bit, but I just one day decided to change to past tense. And it sounds a little weird, but I kind of understand the story. Because from corrió to corre, there's not a lot of difference. Add unexpected ending to the story. Have them add the ending. You create a story and then say, hey, what happens next? Illustrate it. Illustrate a story that you can narrate in Spanish using the following words. Se hunde, rompe el barco, la ballena, and then you create their own story. Minimum 90 words. Write and share, they really like this, especially the smaller kids. They really, really like it. They write a story and they want to share it. This is Avery. This one has 75 words, and it had to include baja, busca, abre, cierra, and maybe the other ones that are not, I can't see.
Acción.
Hay un muchacho. El muchacho se llama Bob. Bob ve al avión y abre la puerta del avión y cierra la puerta del avión. El avión sube y baja, sube y baja. Y Bob tiene un gato. El gato se llama Fluffy. Fluffy es en la avión y se esconde en la avión. Y Bob no ve Fluffy. Y busca. La avión es en no controla y sube, sube, sube. Bob ve Fluffy. De repente, la avión se choca en el sol. Bob dice, ¡oh! Glaciar. Extraterrestre. Salve.
So they're really proud of it. They're making lots of mistakes with la. They're producing their own story, and they're really proud of it, and that's what's really important. When they come from school, from home, and they, Profe, I wrote a story in Spanish for you. Like, I did not ask them to do this. They bring it through. That's so cool. So this is a Spanish magazine, the Spanish revista. It really is, like I said, a newsletter. And they publish their little stories in there. And the 8th graders helped me find a lot of the clip art and things like that. And they all have cell phones and take pictures of the ones that got selected. I know that there's a voting process and it's just me selecting, like, this video has not been published, so let's do this. So this is an example. But it has 4 pages and they're all interested about it. And then we print enough for everyone, and we leave them in different parts of the school. And I also bring them to the classroom, like, hey, you got published, and everyone's so excited. And they, if they see their friend, like, you got published. So there's just an incentive. It's called La Revista. And parents want them like crazy. If their kids get published, they want the copy. And this one I got from Kristen Duncan. Her blog is, I think it's called Spanish TPRS Teacher. And she has this, you can download this from her blog. I do this like once a week, time writing. So I'll say 5 minutes, and you just write anything straight out of your head. It's comprehensive. It can't be random words, you just write the story. With 7th and 8th graders, I'm doing 10 minutes. Completely 10 minutes of writing. And some of them are completing the whole sheet. Front and back, which has like 360 words. The nice thing is that they don't have to count. See, I used to tell them, okay, 75 words, and then at the end they're it's like, oh, no, now they don't have to count. It's so easy. So it really saved me some time. Let's get into speaking. This is the narrating of the story of Los Tres Sombreros. This is Lena. The same story, now they're narrating it.
Cámara. Acción.
En el desierto de Chile vive un oso, se llama Marcos. Marcos camina en el desierto y ve 3 sombreros. El sombrero grande es por México, el sombrero mediano es el sombrero Colombia y el sombrero pequeño es un sombrero de Bolivia.
They're the types of things.
Oh, yeah.
Oso, oso, ¿qué hay debajo de sombrero verde? Marcos es un oso curioso y levanta el sombrero grande. En el sombrero grande es una araña. Los arañas y tienen miedo. Y el pájaro pregunta, oso, oso, ¿qué hay debajo del sombrero mediano? Marcos es un oso curioso y levanta el sombrero mediano. El sombrero mediano es un ratón los caracoles tienen miedo. Y el pájaro pequeño pregunta, oso, oso, ¿qué hay debajo del sombrero pequeño? Marcos es un oso curioso y levanta el sombrero pequeño. Es un elefante en ropa interior. Está
Does the narrator have like she's reading, or that's just,
It's not
okay,
really-
fantastic.
The narrators cannot read. That's one of my rules. Once they're ready, they're ready.
Yeah.
And I'm very careful with that because some think that they're ready and they get up and start narrating and they will completely fail. And then they get embarrassed, so you have to watch it. Like you start feeling it. And they've been putting so much input and you already feel their need. They want to start producing, they want to narrate. And I have incentives, like if you narrate, you can be whatever character you want. So that's one of the incentives. So they're really excited about narrating. But I don't allow everyone to narrate until I feel that they're ready. Even if they, they're not as good as her, but, because she's awesome. And I don't know if you noticed, but she tries to copy my Colombian accent. Not pronunciation, like the melody and everything like that. And so some kids are capable of that. You can start pronouncing well, but that melody of each region, of each country, that's very unique to be able to catch that.
Craig, when you say that this is a different way to tell that same story, did they do the same story this grade or the grade before?
No, this is in the same grade,
The same grade?
yeah.
How many times has she heard, or this class heard that story?
It's probably 4 or 5 times, but that structure's occurred many more times in other stories. So maybe they'll have a couple new structures here, so nothing is new for them there. They're just rearranging things, and it seems different, but it's not. It's the same thing. No, you know,
Those
like-
two boys behind the girls are asking, also, they're also, they're saying the words too. It's like,
Yeah,
you can't help it.
yeah. And it's a very annoying little bird. And they really catch me. They do well. So with narrations, I do the same. I'll tell the narrator, okay, now you're gonna add a new ending. And they love this because they're in control of the story. Now they make their friends do something. It has to be respectful, they know that. Can't go and hit somebody or anything like that. But they make them jump and fall down and throw something. And they just laugh about that. And they just change details of the story in general. So in speaking, another way to have them speak and tell their story, they love stop motion. Most of these kids have iPads and they have free apps. This kid I think used one called Stop Motion Studio. I don't know if it's free or not, but that's what he told me he used. And it's just really cool. And this is a 4th grader, but he's been with me for 4 years. And he's already playing the past tense, and I said, and he's mixing a lot, sometimes pretty bad, but he's trying. I hope I can see something. It's not showing
La
us.
apertura en el oso.
Why is it not showing? You love technology.
Yeah.
There's like a black
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
in the middle. I don't know what is that? The video's right there. How do I remove this? Right here? Because I can just play right here.
Yeah,
Any ideas?
just the original file.
Make it
Have
bigger.
it
Hit the
somewhere
green
in there.
button on the top.
Yes.
No, but I want to show it like this
Um,
because it's going to be cut
Yeah.
because of this.
Try view.
View.
So if you do slide in.
Slide on.
Slide only.
Slide only.
I don't know.
There it is.
Yeah.
Slide
Oh.
right.
View.
View.
Slide only.
Down,
Yeah.
down, there.
Oh.
Made it a little bit whiter, I guess. I don't know.
Hit the green button.
Hope it
Enlarge.
won't mess up the rest of the presentation.
Oh.
No.
Well, that way.
La apertura en el océano. Cody y el artículo. Soy un muchacho y me llamo Cody. Un día voy a la playa y nado en el lago. Veo una planta, un pez y una tortuga. Pero de repente miro al tiburón. El tiburón no está contento de atacar, pero le tengo así. Pero el tiburón recuerda algo.
So I'm just going to the past.
Fue a la playa y el tiburón fue a la playa otra vez. Pero el tiburón gritó, ¡roar! Y Cody gritó, coró. El tiburón dice, lo siento, Cody. Yo digo, no hay problema. Vamos al océano negro.
Let's try to do the Black Sea. Let's see if we can go back to normal. I hope so. Now it's showing. So this one is another way that I used to show stories. Paper stories, and we do this a lot.
Soy Owen.
The whole thing of la criada is that they're stuck is they don't know how to say they clean the oceans. They do know. We've had the word criada and pasa la aspiradora, so they're bringing stuff from families to bring whatever they can to tell the story. I'm going to show little bitsies now because we're running out of time. I use this a lot too. Sometimes I draw, sometimes I let them do the drawing on the board, just like we do on the papers, but now it's on the board. La misma vaina, pero con diferente olor. And now, he's telling a story, but the whole class is assigned to do a sound effect. So they're all engaged. Sam, so another way. Plastic cups, just another way to say the story in it, and then different way. This one, she's practicing clothes.
Muchacho no tiene pelo. Y el muchacho no lleva ropa. El muchacho lleva calzones rosados. Mi novio perfecto no tiene pelo negro y rizado. Y no tiene pelo negro. No tiene pelo rubio y amarillo. Y no tiene pelo rojo y largo. Tiene pelo castaño y rizado. Mi novio no tiene un faldada. No tiene el traje de baño.
So basically, she starts dressing him up how she wants her perfect boyfriend to look like. And they do also stories. They'll have like a little guy in a skateboard and the landscape changes as they go and they go up and down. So it's really, really cool. Also, they do little shows like this. Little puppet shows. And because of that, I created about 100 different puppets, finger puppets. So they can do little things like that. They can stand them up or they can put them on their fingers. And I have some of the cultural ones like Mafalda, Chavo del Ocho, Frida, Don Quixote, so to incorporate a little culture in there. So I have about 100 different ones. How did I do it? With a friend that illustrates. So I do them first on my own, and so can you help me do it in a better way? And this person helps me with that. It's a friend from Colombia. And this is Ben telling stories like this. Like just like I tell stories.
Pero el ladrón sale del carro y es muy furioso y da una patada a Chef en el estómago. Chef se cae, pero no puede y grita, ¡socorro!
So yeah. So let's go to homework. So really the only homework that I give, and often it would be something like this. My child has told me the story of in Spanish, and he or she has also translated it, and the parent signs and then comments. So they'll tell me, yeah, some parents are very strict with grammar. My child has trouble with ed and la. He's saying la perro, and things like that. I sometimes include a little picture like this for them to guide themselves. This is just a section of it. This is again one of my other stories. And this also has the bird. The bird comes and asks, ¿Qué hay dentro de la caja? And the mouse transforms into a big green powerful mouse, like the Hulk. Muchísimas gracias. Ya se me acabó. If you need to contact me, this is my information. If you would like me to send you the notes from this presentation, I will do that. And if you would like the chance games, they're huge files. I think I have about 40 different boards and about 100 puppets. If you contact me, let's put the 24th. By the 24th, I will email you the notes plus all this stuff. So don't forget, if you pass that date, then I won't send them to you. Muchísimas gracias.